Alright, so we're doing another lap here of the Nordschleife, kind of as a makeup for the previous one being, not the greatest with the audio mix. This time, I'm going to be running the mid to late 60s Formula 1 car, kind of specifically the 1967 version, otherwise known as the Formula Vintage Gen 1, specifically the V12 model. Do have a bit of a step on this, bit of setup. uh, Love it. There we go. So I gotta say, this has gotta be one of my favorite cars to drive. Especially if you got a decent enough setup to get it stable. Especially do like the V12 model over the V8. Simply because it has an adjustable front and tire roll bar, which helps a lot. With getting it set up in a drivable window. I also did adjust second gear to be a bit longer to help with the whole problem of being in between gears. Right before. Since that is a bit of an issue, especially in the section after the carousel, that can lose you time if you're constantly in between gears. I gotta say, this is like one of my favorite versions of this track. Nothing wrong with the modern one. Modern one is definitely a lot smoother to drive on, considering it doesn't have as many bumps. I like that view. One of the good things I like about this is the view. Not many walls or fences to block the view, so you do get a good view, but it can be distracting. Especially here. This section especially. I'm trying not to click the curb or the grass. Especially with how low grip these cars are. Can instantly lose grip and spin you. Just look at this view. It is amazing. But downside is this version does have, like, for example, that jumps. That if you're in a car that doesn't have much aero, you're going to be jumping them, getting some pretty decent height. If you're not too careful. And also how bumpy the road is, and how tall the curves are. The curves here on this version compared to the modern one, a lot more punishing. Not only because how tall they are, but also because of how skinny they are. So, margin of trying to ride them as if they were modern curbs. So weird. A lot smaller, and then there's grass right out on the outside. So this section here is kind of where being between gears can be a bit of a pain. That's one of the things that the default setup, at least the default gearing, isn't the greatest at. Trying to focus on making sure the car doesn't break free. Thanks to this game, it's really gotten me. It's helped given me the ability to kind of give more respect to the drivers of this era. Especially like drivers like Jim Clark, who kind of get overlooked, really. Him and Fangio. Especially. Right. Going in, watching the final turn. Start, flying lap. Maybe not the greatest. But, let's go. Do have the track set to heavy rubber, so should have a around peak grip from the surface. Air temperature is 66 Fahrenheit, with the track being 91. We do find this current beta HUD useful for that, and also the fuel, so you don't have to worry about calculating it while you're driving. especially in old cars that don't have any fancy screens on the wheel that do the calculation for you. Some modern cars, GTs, prototypes, Formula One cars do have that, but not all of them. So it is nice to have this. I really do like that view. Real careful with the understeer. Can't wait for them to add the 1971 version of Le Mans. You know, that's potentially going to be added. Like 90% sure it will. It was confirmed like last year that they were going to add it eventually, along with at some point 1989 version of Le Mans, but I don't know if that's still happening. So something could change, but I at least want the 1971 because that would be interesting to see. Especially driving one of these cars on around it, I think that'd be cool. Oops, that could have gone about there. New carousel now. Probably the two only corners that I know. So I'm not that much of a Nürburgring enthusiast. But I do like driving this track, and especially in this game. 5% damage to the engine, 1% gearbox. 93. Miles an hour down the straight. Time of 7 minute 42.7. Now, they do have an alternate version where you can go down there. But yeah, that was that. It is very interesting to drive. But also, I do like you don't have to drive the entire ring just to go back to the pits. This of itself isn't layout, but I like doing it for this. So, yeah, that was the lap. Hope you enjoyed. If you have a PC, this is a good game. But, yeah, I like this game. If you have a PC that can run this game, and, well, it is pretty performance, easy, friendly. But if you have a PC and you want to do casual sim racing, I will recommend picking up this game, or at least trying out the demo, which was somewhat recently updated in January of 2026. So if you want to at least give that a try, you could try that out. It does have like 7 cars and 7 tracks, I think. But yeah, fun game. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.